If you've been doing crunches, cutting carbs, or trying every belly fat burning gimmick on the internet and nothing is working, then this episode's for you. On this episode, we're going to talk about the truth about belly fat in midlife, what actually works, and what's a waste of time. So it's going to be a good one. Grab your coffee. Let's get into it.
Spinning your wheels.
Stop spinning your wheels.
Everybody's trying everything under the sun. It ain't working.
I know. It's crazy. And people will look for like these belly fat burning things. You know, like, listen, the cayenne, pepper, lemon water, blah, blah, blah. No.
Or the belt with the electrodes or whatever, and you wear it on your waistline. It's going to give you abs. I can't believe that was even selling. People buying that stuff. Like, people are so desperate.
No, people they'll spend an hour to put like some sort of an exercise suit on and it's uncomfortable, it's claustrophobic, it's heavy. They'll do that to avoid having to actually do what works.
What happened to the mummy wraps? Is that still around?
No, that's gone.
That's gone?
It works was the MLM
Scam.
where and they measured your inches and showed you how much weight you lost. I did that. I totally did it.
Oh my goodness, you did it?
I totally did it. And I thought, I lost all this weight. You do feel lighter and all this. It's just water weight.
Pulled water out of you.
Do you remember? Didn't we do it together one time before Vegas?
I didn't do that.
Do you remember we got on like a treadmill? Yes, we did. We did it together.
No, I didn't do it. I did not do no mummy wraps. They would wrap me up. No, I'd never done that.
I got claustrophobic. You don't remember?
No. Where did we do it at?
At a place in Campbell.
I don't remember doing that.
I got claustrophobic. They had us wear plastic stuff. We had to get on a treadmill and walk. Yeah, you were with me. I'm sorry. You're talking.
I don't know.
You're getting mad, but you did.
I don't remember. I'm trying to tell you. I don't think I did. I think you think I did it. I think you did it. Maybe I was there.
No,
I don't remember one bit. Zero memory of that. I'm talking about you lay down and they're wrapping these white cloths and try to suck the water out of you and turn the heat up. I never did that.
No, but they wrapped you in wet ace bandages. They did. We did it.
No, I think you're imagining that.
No, we don't.
I don't remember.
Oh no! You know, once I start laughing, you know it's going to be a good episode. All right, you guys. Before we go down another rabbit hole, let's do a little housekeeping. Scan the QR code that's up on the screen. All the pertinent links are there. All of our sponsors are there. Our Instagram, our show that's also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If you can do us a big, huge favor and leave us a 5-star review on Apple or Spotify, we would really, really appreciate that. And follow us on candidly_with_coffee on Instagram. We would really appreciate that too.
Yes, we would.
Yeah. Other than that,
But back to that, none of this gimmicky shit does not work. So don't do it. Period.
Yeah,
Don't buy no ab belt. Don't purchase no 5-minute ab routine work on YouTube. None of that works.
You know what's interesting is that you don't even have to do crunches and sit-ups and all that stuff that has nothing to do with losing belly fat, by the way. Zero. Nothing.
It's funny kind of because I'm guilty of it. We all tried it. Tried to do gazillion crunches and people still do it. I'm watching people in the gym like, stop.
I always had
Stop.
a fatty belly since I was a little kid, always. And I remember hearing that Britney Spears, she had a nice stomach back in the day, and she did 1,000 crunches a day, and that's how she had a nice stomach. And so I tried it like one day. It's impossible. It was like, no, I'm not going to do this. I'll just keep my fat little belly.
That was a clickbait article that got you.
Yeah,
she ain't doing no 1,000
I'll just keep
crunches a day.
And it doesn't matter because you can have the rock hard abs, but if you have belly fat on top of them, you won't be able to see them.
Facts.
So there's no point.
Nope.
I mean, obviously core strength is good. You know, doing some sort of core is good. It doesn't have, but that's not what you're doing to get abs. If you don't, you can build your abs and have more like definition, more bulbous abs. Like you always have, I always say you have bulbous abs.
Yeah.
But again, you don't, in order to have a flat stomach, you don't have to do that. You just have to lose belly fat.
That's it. People don't realize is they all have abs underneath there. They're just covered in belly fat. They're just covered in fat. I didn't even call it belly fat. You're just covered in fat. Your whole physique, you're muscular and lean and trim. You're just covered in body fat. That's it. So you can't see it.
So let's talk about all the things that do not work first before we get into things that actually do work. So crunches and ab workouts alone, I think we've established that is not going to burn your belly fat.
Zero.
Fat burner pills.
Another fake news.
Fake news.
Yes.
Okay. Fake news. There's always like a picture of someone with like rock hard abs on the bottle. Fat burner pills do not burn belly fat.
Yeah.
They just simply do not. Extreme calorie restriction is not going to burn belly fat.
Yep. Sure won't.
We talked about this in the last episode, but endless amounts of cardio is actually not going to burn belly fat. You want to be careful in how you lose belly fat, and we're going to get into that and what you can do in just a second. And cutting carbs, okay? Let's end this. Let's put that myth to bed. You do not have to cut carbs or not eat carbs in order to burn belly fat.
People are still stuck with that old bullshit fucking 80s, 90s, whatever you want to call it, bro science. Like, I'll just cut the carbs and go carnivore. I just recently talk to somebody about that. Like, dude, no. No. Don't do that. You're trying your quick ways and gimmicky stuff to try to
do it quickly.
See your abs and do it quickly.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Another thing for my midlife ladies, I always got to talk about the things that were popular in the 90s to my midlife ladies, because I know they might eat the carbs, but they're avoiding fats. Don't avoid fats, because fats aren't making you fat unless you're overeating calories.
So true.
So don't avoid fats to burn your belly fat. That's not going to work either. Let me just go over real quick before we give you some tips on how to actually burn belly fat and what you should be doing in order to achieve that. I will say, number one, I can speak on all of this because I used to be over 200 pounds and my belly was not little when I was 220. Let me tell you, I had a nice big roll, like an inner tube right here. I used to be able to grab it.
Ooh.
You know, like a big fat inner, like a tire.
I know that didn't feel good.
Okay. So that was many years ago. I had that. But I also, just in general, even when I was thin and I lost the weight, my stomach was, I definitely could never see my abs. I had a good amount of belly fat covering my abs. So I'm not genetically, not storing body fat in my abdomen. Genetically, my mom, my sister, we all kind of had like, even though my sister was really thin, she had fat in her abs too. So my mom had, I gained, when I was 220, I was exactly my mom's body. My mom's body, that was what I looked like.
Wow.
So,
Insane.
that was, yeah. So I had a lot of like the belly fat, my mom had that.
Mom bod.
So I've had it all. So I've been on that. And then I've also had a stomach so lean, I had like, you could see my whole abdominal wall. I never had a 6-pack because I didn't do a lot of crunches to create those like bulbous abs.
Yeah.
But you could see, I had a 2-pack, maybe a 4-pack when I was on the stage, maybe a 4-pack. But yes, so I've had it all of the stages of where we're at. I will say that it's kind of genetic where you store body fat somewhat. Okay, it can be genetic. Some of us are more predisposed to store it in the belly. Some of us have big thighs. So there's a genetic component, but there's also a hormonal component to storing body fat. And there are 2 things specifically that impact where you store body fat. Cortisol. So when you gain weight, it doesn't store body fat on its own, but in the presence of high cortisol, if you are eating too much in a calorie surplus, the presence of that cortisol will ensure that those extra calories actually get stored in the belly, visceral, in the abdomen, in and around your organs. So if you gain weight in a period of your life that you're going through a lot of stress, and you notice that your body looks different than maybe it did when you were younger and you would gain weight, or when you weren't stressed and you would gain weight. Think about that. Think about, when I gained this weight, it was right after my mom died. Yeah, that makes sense because I was so stressed. I was so sad, grieving. Went to the belly.
That's crazy. It does that, right?
Yeah. Another time is menopausal. So I'm talking to my midlife ladies here. When your estrogen, progesterone are low and you are overeating, you are more likely to store that excess calorie intake in your belly. There's a lot, there's a lot of reasons for that, but like there's a lot of, information that suggests that, women are no longer fertile. Therefore, that your girlish curves aren't preserved, right? Because that is what like tells a man chemically that a woman is fertile is the waist to hip ratio.
Yep. So true.
And I've watched some really cool like Nat Geo style documentaries on that whole thing. It's very cool.
It is, isn't it? Mm-hmm. It's so. We're just meant to procreate, to keep this life going.
It's all about procreation.
That's what it's all about.
That's why the term like out to pasture, like you put the cows that can no longer bear cubs or calves or whatever they're called, calves.
Yes.
They put them out to pasture because like they're not worth anything anymore. That's kind of was the sentiment about women in menopause. And that's why we're breaking that now. Like, fuck that. We're like got our best years just because we're not bearing children. We are contributors to society, to economy. We're not the women of the 50s. Leave it to Beaver anymore.
No. And also with the breakthrough of medical science, like peptides, stem cell, strength training, protein, all this other stuff that we know now, what we didn't know back then. Oh no, you guys aren't old news anymore at 40 and up. You know what I'm saying? Like yesterday's news. Like no.
Yeah, let's take a little break. Sorry to cut you off. You had to say something?
No.
I was going to say, let's take a little break while we're on that topic of Transcend, and we'll be right back. Hey, everyone. I wanted to take a minute to talk about something that has truly been a game changer for Mike and I, HRT and peptides from Transcend. If you've been following our journey, you know that we're all about thriving, not just surviving, especially at 49 and 50 years old. Thanks to Transcend, we're looking and feeling our absolute best. Their personalized approach to hormone optimization and peptides has helped us boost energy, improve recovery, and stay on top of our game. And here's the best part. You can experience the same transformation. Transcend offers customized treatments designed just for you. Whether it's hormone balance, better sleep, or more energy, they've got you covered. Are you ready to get started? Use our exclusive link, transcendcompany.com/ESCO Elite. Book your consultation and take advantage of a 15% new patient discount. Don't wait. Your best years are still ahead, and transcendcompany.com can help you. Head to transcendcompany.com/ESCO Elite today and take the first step toward looking and feeling your best. Trust me, you won't regret it. All right, you guys, we are back. And thankfully, companies like Transcend have helped women, we can look fertile with our HRT, even though we're no longer fertile.
That's so true. Okay. Joe Rogan spoke about that. It's funny. He said, because he's like, I thank you for Ways to Wells for keeping me together, helping with my injuries. And he goes, man, a 45-year-old woman these days looks hot. He's saying that, it's older. It's like, they don't look like what they used to.
Yeah.
Compared to today. Like they take care of themselves. Yeah. They're business women. They take care of themselves in the gym. It's a different look.
Yeah, but if you are not on HRT and you're menopausal and you're not monitoring your calorie intake to make sure that you don't gain weight, that's why you gain the weight in the belly. So when I went into menopause and the hypothyroid and all of that, and I put on weight, it was all in my belly. My visceral though. I didn't get the subcutaneous like a jello-y surface level fat. I got the fat in and around my organs, and I felt it. I felt the heaviness when I would sit down. I mean, this is probably TMI, but that's okay. But when I would sit on the toilet and I would look down, I could tell my stomach was forward.
Yeah.
Like pushing forward. I'm like, what the heck? It was
protruding. Your organs.
Yeah. Like I didn't have like external fat, like blubber type fat. It was like a heavy fat that was pushing my organs forward. I did not like that.
I bet you didn't.
I did not like that at all. But that was because I had put on weight because menopause had me sleeping bad and low energy and poor mood and all of that. And I wasn't really watching my calories closely. So I put on weight. And because my progesterone and estrogen were low, that weight went in my visceral body fat. And I had never had visceral body fat before. Because when I was 200 plus pounds many years ago, the belly fat I'm talking about that I had was subcutaneous, which is just under the surface of the skin. It's kind of blubbery. It's the kind of fat that like holds water. So when you're holding water, it looks even worse, cellulite. It looks like that.
Yeah.
So it's different kinds of belly fat that we're dealing with here. Whether you gained it like in its cortisol or menopause belly fat, a lot of that can be subcutaneous and visceral, but mostly visceral when it's cortisol. But the good news is, you guys, you can lose it. You can lose it just because. Don't let anybody tell you, oh, well, that's menopause. That's just what you got now. They're lying to you.
Lying.
They're lying. Because I've had the subcutaneous, I've had the visceral, and I have none of it now. None of it. I have to take, I take my NAD plus 3 days a week from Transcend, by the way, a little fountain of youth that I do. And it's funny because through the process of taking this, I've realized how much body fat I've lost because it's harder and harder to pinch the little subcutaneous body fat on my belly. You see it.
Yeah.
It's hard. I'm like, it's just skin.
That's crazy. That last little bit of skin is almost gone.
And I'm 49 years old. I am in menopause and I was able to lose it. So you can lose it. And I didn't want this video to be clickbaity. I hope it wasn't but a lot of the ways you lose it is just not the gimmicky things that you might think. It's just not. It's the basics. It's mastering the basics.
That's it. One step at a time. Consistency is the most important, biggest component of it all.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you this, though. I hate to break it to you, but we got to lower the cortisol levels when we don't need the cortisol. Cortisol is for exercise, to get us out of bed in the morning, to get us moving. But something else that raises the cortisol that's going to contribute to that belly fat gain is alcohol.
Facts.
Okay? Have you ever heard of the term beer belly? Where do you think that came from?
100%.
Why do you think these old beer drinking buzzards have those hard bellies? That's visceral. That's visceral body fat. It's hard, right? It's not on the surface. They don't have any soft, squishy fat, but they have these big, huge, hard bellies. They have high cortisol. If they're not drinkers or heavy drinkers, then they gain that weight in the period of high stress, okay? My dad had that huge, hard belly. He had a very stressful job at a restaurant. It was a very high stress environment all the time, and he would eat and under this high stress, right? He had that hard belly. Men who drink a lot, hard belly. That is a cortisol belly.
Yeah.
And if it's not from excess eating under periods of stress or drinking alcohol, then, and that's the kind of fat you have and that's the kind of belly, go to the doctor. Because it could be something else. It could be like Cushing's, Cushing's is a elevated cortisol. It's an issue with your cortisol levels. There could be something wrong there. That's not normal. It could be a condition. So go to the doctor.
Go to the doctor. Get checked out. Don't
play
around with your health.
If it's not, you might think sometimes that it's bloating, but maybe it's not bloating. Maybe it's cortisol. Maybe it's visceral fat that's in and around your organs because you have that hard belly. You might think, oh, I'm always bloated. Maybe it's not bloated.
You're right.
But again, since we're talking about belly fat, sometimes maybe you think it's belly fat, but it's actually not belly fat. It could be something else, something wrong with your digestion, excess gas, a problem with your colon. Bloating and hardness in the belly is not something to be ignored.
And you better be going regularly, at least once a day.
Yes.
If you're talking about I only go once every several days or something, that's a problem. That's a big problem.
It is big problem. All right, you guys, let's take a little break for 1UP Nutrition and Mega Fit Meals. We'll be right back. Okay, guys, so I have to tell you about my favorite supplement brand. If you're not new here, it's 1UP Nutrition. This is probably the only time in my entire life that I've been this consistent with my supplements. And let me tell you, it's been a game changer. Their Gut Health Plus and Daily Cleanse have completely transformed my digestive health. I feel amazing and I'm never bloated. And don't even get me started on their protein powders, from the refreshing lemon Italian ice clear protein that I add to my yogurt pretty much daily these days, and their peanut butter cookie iso protein powder. I mean, their flavors are absolutely delicious. It's like having a treat while staying on track with your goals. If you're ready to level up your nutrition and try supplements that actually work and taste amazing, you're going to love One Up Nutrition as much as I do. Just head over to oneupnutrition.com, use code Janine at checkout for a discount, and try some of my favorites and start feeling your best today, because your health deserves the best, and so do you. Hey everyone, you know I'm all about making life easier while staying on track with your health and fitness goals, and that's why I love MegaFit Meals. MegaFit Meals is your go-to for macro-friendly meal prep that tastes amazing. Whether you're crushing your fitness goals or you just want a convenient way to eat clean and delicious meals, MegaFit has you covered. They've got everything from high-protein favorites to keto-friendly options and everything in between. Plus, the meals come perfectly portioned, ready to heat and eat, saving you time and stress. And the best part, you can save on your orders by using my code JEANINE at checkout. Head over to megafitmeals.com and check it out. Don't forget to use my code JEANINE, because when life gets busy, MegaFit Meals keeps you on track. All right, so let's tackle some common myths about belly fat. Okay, number one, a lot of people think they can't get rid of their belly fat because they're in menopause. So obviously we talked about that. It's not true. You can absolutely gain it. The reason why it feels like you've gained so much weight in menopause is because it's concentrated in the belly, by the way. Maybe 5 pounds 10 years ago was like, some of it was in your big toe, some of it's in your knee. It's spread. But 5 pounds all in a concentrated area in your belly, you're going to feel like it's 15, 20 pounds.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a big
Especially
difference.
when it's fat.
So another myth is it's not your metabolism. That's not why you can't get rid of belly fat. It just means you haven't established a calorie deficit. So the answer to get rid of your belly fat is you got to get in a calorie deficit, and you got to stay in the calorie deficit till the fat comes off your belly. Unfortunately, it's going to want to come off other places first. That's just Murphy's Law.
That's so true.
And you can't control that.
No.
And by the way, do not throw on a sweat belt and think that's going to make it come off any faster. That's another myth.
Oh my God. You know, another thing people used to do back in the day, especially fighters, they would rub some kind of cream and wrap themselves in saran wrap.
They have that too, like Poxyderm and all those cream sweat sticks, sweet sweat, whatever.
Yes.
It's gimmicks. Don't do it. You don't need any of that. Don't put on a wetsuit or whatever and go do cardio. None of that. You're wasting your time. That does not burn belly fat.
Nope.
What burns belly fat is a calorie deficit. The fat's going to come off. Eventually, it will come off your belly.
Yep.
You just got to keep going. It's a slow process. You just got to keep going. It's happening. It's coming off. Like I have so many clients that they're doing so good. And their bodies are just changing, but it's never as fast as they want it to be.
I know, right?
And you know what happens because it's so gradual? You get used to yourself every day and the gradual changes. So you can't tell that it's coming off. You feel the same. It takes that look back period to see like, oh shoot, you're right. Yeah, it was a lot bigger 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Like it has come down.
That's why you have to take pictures.
Yeah.
So you can see the difference.
Or like, those jeans fit now. They didn't fit before. Oh, okay. That's because my less body fat. Okay. I guess.
Yeah.
There's never
the mind plays tricks on you.
It does. It totally does. So let's talk about some ways to get it off. Okay. Calorie deficit, high protein diet, high protein diet, strength training. It's all the boring stuff. They're going to slap me because it's the truth. Okay. Don't do endless amounts of cardio. Don't do HIIT. Remember, we just talked about, that's just going to raise your cortisol. We're trying to let's bring it back down.
Yeah.
Let's slow it down. Bring your cortisol down. Let's cut back on the alcohol.
Sorry.
The worst thing you can do is overeat in the presence of alcohol too, by the way, because all those extra Here's the thing, and this is where your whole body shape can shift. I'm going to blow your mind right now. If you gain a bunch of weight in the presence of a bender, a lot of alcohol, and the cortisol's high, you're partying, you're not sleeping, all that, your body's going to store it in the belly. But then when you go to lose that weight back off, who's to say it's going to come off the belly? It's going to come off your thighs, your knees, your arms, and you're just shifting your body. It's changing. Yeah. Your body shape is changing. That's why you're like, God, why is my body so much different than it was when I was younger? You got to think about what you were doing when you gained that weight, because that impacts your body shape. Yes, it's partly genetic, but it's partly hormonal. You got to remember that.
Interesting.
So if you put on a lot of weight, that's why my belly was big when we were partying, even though I was thin. Because what would happen is I'd put on weight because on the weekends I was drinking and we'd eat to our heart's content in Vegas. So I'd put on the belly fat. But when I came back and became a cardio bunny and went on the cardio to try to lose it, my legs and my arms got skinnier and skinnier, but my belly stayed kind of bigger. That's why at 115, I had a big belly, a big bloated belly, like a cortisol belly.
Yeah, you show me.
We just posted a picture. I had a cortisol belly sticking out, but my legs and arms were super skinny. I was 115 pounds because I would gain it in the presence of alcohol, cortisol, partying, and I would lose it on the cardio machine. And if I kept doing that over time, I'd literally turn into this like little old lady with skinny legs, skinny arms, and a big belly. Yeah. And that's why you'll see that a lot. I used to work in a retirement home when I was younger. And a lot of the ladies, they were skinny ladies, but they had big bellies.
Drinking too much.
Well, gaining weight, it's that doing that shift. Gotcha. It's not necessarily the stress, weight gain, and then the weight loss, and it doesn't come off the belly. So it stockpiles on the belly, but it comes off everywhere else, creating this massive imbalance.
It's too bad. We can't control where our body
I wish we
fat
could.
comes off. I know.
That's another thing with myth bust. Make that clear. Let's put that to bed. You cannot spot reduce fat. There's no exercise. No. There's no component. There's no contraption. There's nothing that can get you to lose body fat off of an area unless you're doing the liposuction and sucking that thing out, or like that cool scope. I don't even know if that works, to be honest. But lipo, where they're taking it out.
What's it called? Cool sculpting?
Cool sculpting. But it leaves you with lumpy, bumpy result. And it's not very good.
I haven't seen the commercial for that in a long time.
I know.
Now.
They had a lot of lawsuits, that I know for sure. So the key is cutting down on alcohol, managing stress, because you have to bring your cortisol levels down.
Yeah, you do. Got to keep it in check, keep it in control. Do the best that you can.
Also, balanced meals. Balanced meals to keep your insulin and blood sugar balanced too. So what do I mean by balanced meals? Just make sure that you don't eat carbs by itself. Okay, no big bowl of pasta with nothing else. You want to have protein, fats, and carbs in every meal. Just have a nice little balanced meal. Ask yourself, look at the plate. Where's my protein? Where's my carbs? Where's my fats? Where's my fiber?
Where's the fiber?
Fiber helps too, a lot. So it's all those basics. I hate to say that. It's like living a clean, healthy lifestyle. That's what's going to get the belly fat off.
So true.
You know, you can lose the belly fat, by the way, without going on HRT. So I don't want you to think, oh, well, I can't do it because I can't go on HRT because of one reason or another. You can. It's just that it's a little more challenging. You have to manage your symptoms. And so you have to manage your symptoms in other ways. You know, I've done all of that too.
Yeah.
You still can, even though it's harder, more challenging, doesn't mean you can't do it. You still got to work on it and do it. You can't throw in the towel like that.
Everything's a grind. Nothing comes easy. You got to work for it. Nothing comes easy.
So, it's all the basics, basically. You had a big belly, a lot of cortisol belly.
You remember?
Because a lot of alcohol.
Yeah. Ton.
You definitely, and you have nothing now.
There was like protruding.
Yeah.
Coming way out here. Yeah, I don't have that. I have a little bit. You have a little bit of fat to pinch on the bottom, but that's it. I maintained it. Because I keep, like you said, I keep it balanced and I strength train real good, push myself.
strength training, more movement, so more neat calories, but not stressful movement. So I feel like HIIT workouts are very detrimental to women in midlife. I just don't think that the juice is not worth the squeeze.
I agree.
You know, so you're spinning your wheels a lot in those workouts. I've yet to see an older, super fit woman in those fitness classes, but they work their tail off in those classes. So it's not for lack of effort, but they're spinning their wheels.
Yeah.
And I hate to see it. It's hard because it's like I would want to it's like I want to fix everybody.
I know, right?
You
Can't
know?
save everybody.
No, you can't. We always say that. You can't.
Much as we'd love to, and we try to be informative here, and we try to give you the right, gems and the do's and don'ts, still goes over people's heads.
It does.
Just does.
It does.
Like protein, it goes over people's heads. They still don't get it.
I know. I struggle all the
there.
time with clients. I struggle with it with some of them. And you know what? Like I was saying, like in the Orange Theory classes or whatever, I feel like people spin their wheels. It's not for lack of effort. Why not use that time and do something that is going to make a change? It is going to make an impact. I actually just had, as part of my BBC 16 that's going on right now, we had a weightlifting 101 workshop. And my daughter put it on. She's a NASM certified trainer, former competitor. She broke it down so good for all of our clients. And the feedback was so good. It really clicked for a lot of people. And I was like, Alyssa, you know what? This workshop is really good. There's just certain things that everyone talks about certain things, but no one explains it. And she did a really good job explaining it. So I was like, we need to take this workshop and we need to offer it to people who are not our clients. So I had her re-record it.
Nice.
She re-recorded it because the one that we did with our clients, they're all on the Zoom call or whatever. So she re-recorded it. And for a limited time, we're offering it to non-clients. So you don't have to be a client. It's a small fee. But let me tell you, it's basically the price of an Orange Theory class. Okay, you're in the class spinning your wheels, not getting any results. What if this just has those little tidbits that it finally clicks for you, like so many of our clients? So that information will be up on the screen. There's going to be a link. It'll also be down in the description. For a limited time, we're offering it to non-clients. It is the full workshop with the PDF file with all of the information, and Alyssa talks through all of those basics. So it's called the Weightlifting 101 Workshop. And it's specifically for midlife women, so you can stop spinning your wheels and start getting results for your effort. So you're not just going to these classes and not getting any change in your body composition, change in your weight. It's just a waste of time. For this workshop, can change everything for you.
What I always say, telling ain't teaching.
Yeah.
So it's good she was able to explain it.
Yeah, and I know coaching and all of that is not always, affordable. I get that. And so we made this super affordable and a way that we could offer it to people and just maybe help because I think that if you want to get rid of belly fat, the answer is strength training. It's not in your HIIT. It's not in your fitness class. It's not in Barry's boot camp. It's not in F45. I'm sorry. It's not there.
No.
You're not going to, next time, if you think it is, walk into your class and look at all the ladies in midlife and look at their bellies. You see that they're there and you see how much they're sweating and how hard they're working, getting all the splat points out of Orange Theory. It's not working. Do something that is going to work. Click on the link and check it out. You guys won't be disappointed. She did a really good job. I have to say, after the workshop, I went into the group and I was like, oh my God, proud Mama Bear. She did a really, really good job on that workshop. I took some tips myself. I was taking notes myself.
I like to say she's built for this.
Yeah.
Plain
She
and
did
simple.
a good job. So check it out, you guys. It's limited. It's on the links down in the description, and get it while you can. And
jump on it.
That's it. Let's see what's on the docket for the next episode so you guys can join us. All right. On the next episode, midlife hormonal changes, blood sugar swings, and stress can all make hunger worse. In the next episode, we're going to break down the biggest mistakes that you're making that are actually making you hungrier, the role of protein, fiber, and blood sugar in controlling your cravings. We're going to share how you can actually do things that give you the effects of Ozempic without actually taking Ozempic. So you don't want to miss this episode. Make sure you tune in, and we'll see you in the next one.
See you.